can't steer it or stop it, and the Underminers escape.
We'll have to stop it from Bob, the monorail!
Brad Bird, welcome to Toronto. Congratulations on the film.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just wondering if you could talk about sort of the origin of reintroducing us to the Incredibles characters.
Well, I had the idea that is sort of the foundation of this one. As I was publicizing the first film, I kind of thought, what if Helen got the assignment rather than Bob? And I knew I had the unwrapped present of Jack's powers, which the audience knew about, but the Parr family did not. So those two things I knew I had. All the other stuff took a while.
And if you could talk about that process, about obviously you've sort of sojourned into live action. Here you are coming back into the Pixar fold, which you obviously never really left. But nonetheless, if you could talk about just that transition of getting back into the mindset of working in this idiom.
I think other people see the separation more than I do. To me, it's just a way of, film is really the medium, and that's a language that has close-ups and long shots and tracking shots and sound and music and characters, and all of that is really very much the same. It's just how you get those things on screen is different. With live action, it's more spontaneous, and it's more about prompting a moment where lightning strikes and everything is perfect. And with animation, it's about inching toward that, perfection.
Given that you have obviously full control of everything, it must be easy.
You don't have full control of everything. You have more control.
But I guess what I'm saying is that you have the time, or at least you have the proclivity to be able to put things exactly where you want them to be, whereas actors, obviously, you're simply giving a space. I'm wondering if with that specificity you find sometimes it hard when you're watching it over and over again to maintain the creativity. Obviously you have a great deal of experience, but just going from live action to animation, whether or not
well, you just kind of get yourself up for the game, With live action, you have to know what you want to be able to tell everybody, right now, I want the camera here, I want it to move from here to here, and hit to close up by this word. And you get close, and sometimes you hit it perfectly, but the actor's performance is not as good. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to kind of juggle all these little pieces. And with animation, you have enough time where if you know what you want, you can push everybody toward that. But we had a year less, we had a year taken off our schedule on this one, so we were thrown curves on this one as well. And you have to do the same stuff. You can look for happy accidents to save you in live action, and they don't quite save you in the same way in animation. You have to really be specific about what you want and what's missing. You can't shoot any extra footage in animation. With live action, you can have a 4 or 5 to 1 shooting ratio and take 5 tries to get what you want. In animation, that's it. And you better nail it because you don't have time to redo it a lot.
Not to talk about projects outside the scope, but I know there's a number of things that you've been sort of building up, including some more adult-oriented animated properties. Is that still something that you're interested in doing? Do you still see a marketplace for you to be able to do something that sort of challenges a more adult audience, but still in the animated form?
I believe so, because I've made every animated film that I've made so far, I've made it for adults. Mm-hmm. I mean, meaning that I made them for what I thought would entertain me, and I'm an adult. They haven't excluded kids, but Incredibles 2 would be a perfectly fine date movie with no kid in sight, and you're going to have a great time. So animation is a very strange medium. It's the only medium around where the audience is assumed to be limited, and people always come up to me and go, well, my kid just loved your film. And I said, well, did you see it? And they go, oh yeah, I loved it too. And I go, why didn't you lead with that? You always people always feel that they have to lead with some kid that is nearby. You know, I don't have any kids, but little Jimmy looked like he needed someone to go to the movie with him, so I went with him. You know, I really wanted to see it, but I didn't feel safe in seeing it until I had little Jimmy, you know? And it's like, maybe with some people's animated films, that's the case, but with mine, it's just a medium. It's, you know, hopefully everyone can see this and have a great time and not feel talked down to.
Combustion imminent? What does that mean? Ah!
It means fire, Robert.
The Screen Slater interrupts this program for an important announcement.
Suit up. It might get weird.
I'll be there ASAP.
Where you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP.